Hail Internet, it's Paul, it's Matt, the Dork Lords. We are here today talking about the 6th episode, Season 2 of House of the Dragon, Small Folk. We open with one of the Lannister twins, Jason, recruiting the castle known as the Golden Tooth. He sends a request to Aemond to join him on Vhagar in order to clear the way for his troops. Aemond, not a fan of receiving come here letters. He's the king regent. He gives orders, damn it. So he scuttles that plan. He sends Tywin Lannister to meet with the Triarchy to recruit their navy, and he sends Criston Cole to Harrenhal. He then kicks Alicent off the council. It's like, woof.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Oof. Busy morning.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Mom. Anyway, I don't need you. Go away. We end with Mysaria telling Rhaenyra that their gift of food has arrived at King's Landing, turning the small folk even more against Team Green. Mysaria then recounts her devastatingly abusive childhood, saying that she learned not to trust anyone, but she trusts Rhaenyra. They embrace. The embrace turns into a long kiss. Mm-hmm. They obviously have feelings for each other. Let's call it a makeout session, is interrupted by news that Seasmoke, the dragon formerly ridden by Laenor, who faked his death back in Season 1, now has a new rider. We, the audience, know that the rider is Corlys's bastard son, Adam.
We do.
But to Rhaenyra, it's likely someone who represents Team Green. So, tired of letting others take the risks for her, rest in peace, Sir Stefan, Rhaenyra mounts her dragon Syrax and flies off to engage with Seasmoke. In the trailer, we see that indeed will happen in the next episode. All that said, Paul.
Yes?
What'd you think of episode 6?
I am still a happy camper with the episodes there. I've heard some complaints from some people about the pacing of the show, and we're 2 episodes out from the end of the series, right? It's 2, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So they know trouble's coming, but they want it to happen sooner. But I'm fine seeing these character moments, and a roasted person. That's good for me. Actually, I think 2 people, two roasted people.
2 roasted people, right? We don't want to discount whoever that was, the priest
that dragon priest or whatever. Yeah, dragon handler.
Dragon handler number 3.
He needs to go back to school. Well, they'll teach his brisket.
You knew there were problems as soon as Sir Stefan's like, oh, look, I think it worked, or something like that. You're like, oh, don't, you just cursed it. And sure enough, barbecue time for him. I enjoyed this episode quite a bit as well. I think a lot is happening. I would say if I were to pick one area where it does feel like maybe they're spinning their wheels a bit, it's with Daemon's story at the moment.
Sure. Yeah, especially since it's hard to know where, they're trying to prepare you for some significant changes in how he behaves by having these moments where it's like, oh, look at how you're treating people in your past, your brother and your mother and your wife and all this other stuff. It's like trying to force the audience to see his internal, fretting.
Right. Which, assuming, and I think you're right to assume that this is going to pay off with Daemon essentially making him realize that he let his brother down and that he shouldn't let Rhaenyra down as well, and that maybe he's not even the best suited to rule. Maybe we even get that far with it. That would make it worth it. If it's just hey, he had a bunch of weird dreams because he was hanging out at Harrenhal and then stuff happened. What? Why did that mean? So it needs to mean something.
Yeah.
But yeah, the dreams, he's disappointing his brother. He's apologizing to his brother for letting him down, not being there for him. Like, I'm here now. So you do feel like there's a change in him, in his, aspect coming. But they are drawing it out. We're mainly just seeing Damon dreaming or waking up from dreaming.
Right. Yeah, if you could go criticize anything, I guess, you know, and I guess you could put it under Allison's potions, maybe. It's like,
or not Alice. You mean Alice?
Alice,
Sorry.
right? Alice, yes.
Yeah.
Why should he necessarily think, oh, maybe I should confide in her? But you know, hey, maybe that's just part of the potions. It makes him trust her.
True. Good point. Good point. And then also almost the strong implication is that she had Grover Tully killed. She's like, hey, oh, you have a problem because you can't make any deals with the young Tully because this old Tully is... Well, just give it 2 days. Yeah. And then, oh, look, he's dead. Okay.
But it's more insidious than that. Like, oh, he's not feeling well. We have people come in to see him. Oh, but send Alice in there, and she'll see if she can help him. No, he just went... Oh, he died. I did all that I could. There's a lot of sort of medical sort of questions I got about it because that Maester, you know, when Aemond is talking to him, it's like, this is going to take a long time. Is he telling him not to, you know, take as good care of him?
Which is then when you get the another beat there with Larys. You know, the Maester's trying to give Aegon more drugs to put him out, and Larys is like, let's just let him be for an hour.
Yeah.
You don't have to make this guy permanently out.
It does seem as if, though, that, you know, you could argue that Larys has more of his actual, you know, good, you know, wishes to heart. Because it's like, yeah, you know, you should try to have your head about you as much as possible. And, you know, people will underestimate you, but, you know, you got to be ready. You know, that can work to your favor.
Yeah, and I do feel like, Larys is showing a little simpatico there with him, like, hey, I get it. I've been the guy who everybody underestimates because I have this physical deformity. I mean, I will say, though, that, you know, ultimately, I think Larys is realizing, political advantage. He's gone to check out Aegon. Yeah. It looks like Aegon is likely to recover, assuming he isn't assassinated. And so, hey, if I, become this guy's
what did Aemond called him something? He called him a goon, or he called him something. When he fooled him, he's like, I will leave that in your hands. He's like, oh, thank you. It's such an honor. And he's like, no, you goofus. I'm not making you the hand. You were supposed to go get Otto.
Yeah. Right. He's like, no, I'm not asking for you. Go get the smart guy.
Otto hasn't turned on any of his family.
Yeah. Anyway, that was an interesting scene, and just watching Aegon like beg for his help too was really interesting. Like, help me, because he is completely at everyone's mercy at this moment.
Yeah. It's like, hey, nothing. I won't remember a damn thing. Okay, somebody go get the nurse. Get the nurse with the drugs.
It's, obviously he remembers. I mean, that was very clear from that scene. He's just telling Aemond, like, don't worry. I don't know anything. You know, I mentioned that Alice has Grover Tully killed. The Tullys, at least in this time frame, Martin named them all after Sesame Street characters.
Yes, he did. Yes.
So you got Grover, Oscar, Elmo, and Kermit.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's kind of a little like, haha.
It's like, boy, sure is hard coming up with names. I can't name everybody Aemond and
That's right. Meet Big Bird Tully. Well, I will say, regarding back to Daemon and perhaps they're drawing this out a little bit, it reminds me a little bit, and this is actually an unfair analogy because what I'm about to compare it to was a far worse offender. But in Game of Thrones, there was that season where the show spent practically the entire season redeeming Theon Greyjoy by just showing us scenes of him being tortured by Ramsay Bolton. It got to the point where I was just roll my eyes every time they cut. Like, oh, okay, what terrible thing will you do to Theon now? Great. Anyway. So it just was like this. I was like, okay, move on. It was just kind of like, move on. I'm not to that point yet with Daemon, but I could imagine a scenario where you're just like, you start season 3 and he's still having dreams. You're like, come on, move on. Let's go. Sure. Come on. All right, push forward. So it hasn't reached that point, and I do feel like they'll resolve this this season. I feel like ultimately he's going to come back to, Team Black and reunite. Because right now they're also having Rhaenyra is like feeling isolated. That's one of the reasons she feels this connection to Massaria, because he's like, everyone tells me I'm supposed to like have Daemon and and I think I've lost him. I don't think he's coming back, and so I think he ultimately will. We had another sighting of Cheese's dog. He's still in play. I had hoped last week that he'd meet up with like another regular character from the show. Yeah. Bing! Hugh Hammer pets him on the head. So anyway, the rise of Cheese's dog continues.
Oh, wow. Sounds like you'd be up for a spinoff.
Yeah, oh hell yeah, that's right.
The Adventures of Cheese.
He plays the Game of Thrones. Chaos isn't a ladder. Chaos is a doggy door. That's what it is, damn it. He's stepping through. Go get him, Cheese's dog. All right, anyway, so yes. I had a couple of commenters mention that they enjoyed seeing Cheese's dog back, so there you go. Don't kill off Cheese's dog. This show will be dead to me if they kill Cheese's dog off. All right. Allison, it's just there's like a continuing litany, counting back to last episode, of just events that are confirming to her that she's been cast aside. And so we get here, the mob riots and almost kills her and Helena. Yes, they're forced to flee.
Yeah.
And so, it's just more like everyone hates her or dismisses her.
It's like, if you think about it, when she went to that temple and Rhaenyra came to meet her.
Yes. You're saying that what I was thinking. Yes.
And also, like here, they went to the temple again. And now this thing happened. Yep. It's just goes to show, don't go to church.
Don't go to church. Exactly. I mean, at the very least, it seems pretty obvious that the weak link in your security is I have to go way outside the walls to this church. I mean, there have been times in history where kings and queens have put chapels inside their castle.
Sure.
Maybe if you're really intent on doing the churchy church, maybe you put it inside your own walls. But anyway, every time she steps out,
maybe that could be a productive thing to do. It's like pay everybody to build a church in the castle, and then they'll have money. That could be a way to improve the
church
economy.
and state, combine them. Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't go to church, everyone. It's dangerous out there. Then she also has a conversation with, I believe it's her brother, about her son.
Yes. It's her brother that reveals, since she basically has hardly ever seen him ever.
Yep. And he's an important character. He's a dragon rider, and he'll be important later. But it's just kind of another ouch moment when Allison realizes she even mentions it herself.
Yeah.
Like, her most well-adjusted son is the one she didn't raise.
Yeah.
It's like, oh man. I don't even in the trailer for the next episode, it shows her like in white, and she's walking out in the water in some kind of lake or river. I'm just wondering if they're throwing the idea. I'm not saying she's gonna commit suicide, but that she might be suicidal. It implies perhaps that she's just like, screw it, my life's terrible.
Oh,
wow. And maybe she's driven to like really depressed thoughts. She's pulling an Ophelia kind of thing.
Okay.
But so yeah, anyway, just because they have really piled on the you are a bad person and and also you're being dismissed by your own family.
Sure.
And everyone either hates you, throws stuff at you, tries to kill you. I don't know, I feel like maybe they're pushing that way because we know that her daughter Helena, who was there with her, being eventually down the line commit suicide. So it wouldn't, anyway, just to say,
sure.
Just put that in mind. I feel like that might be where they're pushing her in this moment before maybe she has some kind of some event that turns her back around to getting back in the fight, perhaps. Anyway, but we also have Rhaena So she's over on Pentos or whatever.
Yeah.
And she realizes that there's a riderless dragon on the loose.
Yeah.
This dragon, from the source material, is almost certainly the dragon Sheep Stealer.
But from the source material, does she?
She does not tame Sheep Stealer. I think that's what they're doing here, is that they're going to have her tame Sheep Stealer.
But
that's my guess.
In the books, you're saying she doesn't, though, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
like
So that'd be an
interesting.
that'd be an interesting change. I mean, I would approve that change, especially as they set her
it
up.
may not happen.
I know. I'm just
saying
that would be good if they set that up, because they've certainly done, and it doesn't hurt them at all to improve the status of some of the people we've already seen.
Yep.
So some servant girl. We have already met a number of people that we wouldn't have
have
cared about
and maybe
otherwise.
And then note that she's taking the kids on a boat. She's like, and you will be, whatever. She's moving the kids to another more secure location.
Some other place, yeah.
And so we're reminded of the Triarchy and their navy in this episode. And there's an important event in the source material involving these characters getting attacked at sea.
Oh, wow.
So I feel like there is a sea battle a-coming. With some bad outcomes. So anyway, that's probably an episode, maybe even episode 7, maybe the next episode.
I was thinking about the brothers there. They really set up Corliss's kids.
Yes, Alan and Adam.
Yeah. So Adam is the one who's always spurring Alan. So of course he's the one who gets access to the dragon, and they were letting you know that he's like we could get riches, we could get servants. It's like they're really trying to give you an idea of the rags to riches story here that makes me wonder exactly how well he would handle that authority. It's like, Alan is the most responsible, humble person. It's like, I don't know if I want this honor. I don't know if I want. It's like, just comparing him to Alicent's kids, where the one who's running away from the throne, and the one that was the more competent, was like scheming to get it. So in this case, they're far more admirable. At least Alan is. We haven't seen the true character of Adam yet. Once he starts to get a little, success.
True, and it's interesting. When you think of Sea Smoke. So Sea Smoke was Laenor's dragon. Laenor's gone. He didn't follow Laenor. I guess that would have been a big hint that Laenor wasn't dead. Yeah. Oh, look, this dragon keeps following his boat around. Anyway, so somehow they parted ways. And so now it's like, okay, we need you, Sea Smoke. Here's this guy who has blood in him, and Sea Smoke instantly rejects him. And then maybe feel sorry about it, like, okay, I'll go find a guy. There he is, that guy. All right. Well, good on you, Sea Smoke.
Yeah. You've already talked about the next episode in the trailers there, in the scenes there. They really seem to make a point of the fact that with Rhaenyra going to confront Adam, Rhaenyra doesn't know this guy from Adam. So that's
good
what
point.
She needs to.
Yeah, you're right. I guess they probably never met. I mean, maybe in Pat. No, they wouldn't have. They wouldn't have met.
No, there's no reason.
Yeah. Yep. So he'll have to explain. But maybe. Yeah. Anyways, I see the resemblance. I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah.
But also because Corliss's hand her hand at this moment too. So there's more of a bond there too. So we'll be back talking about episode 7 of House of the Dragon. We'll also be talking about the, as it turns out, series finale of the Lazarus Project.
Yeah.
And we will eventually be talking about Deadpool 3 as well. So come on back for all that. Thank you as always, Paul. Appreciate it, good sir.
Oh, no problem.
And we'll talk to everybody next time. Bye.
Bye.